everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started with today's webinar, How to Leverage International Cleaning Week 2024. Welcome to the webinar. We're thrilled you're here. I'm your host, Stacy Seiden, Senior Government Affairs Manager here at ISSA. And now a little bit about our presenter, John Nothdurft. John was hired as ISSA Director of Government Affairs in January 2019. He brings more than 15 years of experience working in government affairs, public policy, and advocacy at the federal and state levels to ISSA. He monitors federal and state legislation and regulations on issues such as cleaning product ingredient disclosure, hazard communication, disinfectant registration, occupational safety and health, and general business issues like healthcare, taxation, and label-related matters for ISSA. John and I are also building ISSA's grassroots advocacy by fostering member engagement in the political process. And with that, John, the presentation is all yours. Take it away.
Thanks, Stacy. Really appreciate it. And obviously, thank you to all of our members and those who are interested in helping to celebrate International Cleaning Week. For some of you who have been associated with this the last couple of years, you may know that there's been a slight change the past since we started this in 2019. It's been National Cleaning Week, but since due to a lot of support and efforts internally and externally by the want to take this international, we are now dubbing it International Cleaning Week. So we're really excited about that. A couple things just on the top. As I said, we really want to answer any sort of questions you guys have, hear about any sort of unique ways that you have or are planning on engaging with International Cleaning Week next week, or next year. So please put those in the chat if you have any sort of cool ideas. Also wanted to let you know, there's a day or week for everything. Today is actually National Hot Chocolate Day. So go out and get yourself a hot chocolate. But let's just kind of get right into it. Like I said, there's a lot to cover, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of new stuff that we're working on to help you leverage and celebrate International Cleaning Week. I do want to take the chance to thank our sponsors of this webinar, Torque, which is an Essity brand. They've been really supportive of both International Cleaning Week, this webinar, as well as our Clean Advocacy Summit that comes up in April, which I will talk about. So thank you so much to Torque and everything they do to support the industry. So let's get right into it. Kind of right off the bat, what is International Cleaning Week? Really, I always say it's our pep rally for the industry. Here at ISSA, we always talk about wanting to change the way the world views cleaning. I think that all went into us both changing our language over from National Cleaning Week to International Cleaning Week, but also taking the time, right? I mean, obviously, we all believe that cleaning, health and safety, healthy buildings should be celebrated and recognized every single day. But sometimes we just need to take a step back, devote some time to it. And so we always thought that, devoting a whole week, while it's not as much as we'd love to, we think it's significant enough. And I think it just gives everyone the opportunity to really kind of step back and say, look at all the great stuff, the positive impact that the industry as a whole, whether you're a manufacturer, distributor, end user, on public health, the environment, and the economy. So when is it? It's always the fourth Sunday of March. So this year, it will run from March 24th to March 30th, which is a little bit different. Easter is a little bit earlier this year. So it's actually the week leading into Easter. So why? Obviously, the number one thing is to celebrate the industry, the value of clean, raise public awareness, recognize cleaning professionals who are obviously essential workers. And then ultimately, we want you to be able to promote your business, right? What you're doing. We've seen a lot of creative ways of people promoting their business by leveraging this week, whether it's running discounts, getting on local news, those sort of things. And so as I mentioned, this is the 5th year that ISSA, the Worldwide Cleaning Industry Association, has been encouraging and trying to kind of, I guess for a lack of a better term, organize everyone around this sort of celebration of International Cleaning Week. But I did want to also mention a few of our supporting organizations. And this is just a small amount that have already confirmed that they're going to support it. Just to show that this is really a team effort. It's not just ISSA. It's not even just the cleaning industry. I mean, we have groups like the American Association of Interior Designers promoting it, Exhibitions and Conference Alliance, Well Building, the Food Industry Association, and then obviously the Household Commercial Products Association and American Cleaning Institute, which are obviously more ingrained with the cleaning industry. But we're hoping to add even more organizations to this. We've been reaching out. Obviously, if you know of any trade associations that would also like to promote this, it's a great opportunity, right? Just promoting this in various verticals about why cleaning is important to certain segments of the population. So thank you to each of these supporting organizations, and like I said, this will definitely grow over the next couple months leading into International Cleaning Week. So just kind of an overview of kind of what I'm going to talk about. Like I said, would love any sort of engagement in the chat, Q&A about what you're doing. If you have questions about anything specific, we're going to leave ample time for that. But primarily, I'm going to go over our marketing. So some of the marketing resources we've created. We encourage you to take those, leverage those, tweak those, adapt them to your own uses. It's definitely trying to share ideas out there. We're not trying to be the end all be all. We want to foster creativity. So we're just trying to give you guys kind of like a entree into kind of here's some basics, run with it, right? A couple events that we're working on. Also, help your asking everyone on this call's help in making it official cleaning week in your state, your city, or even your country. Different ways that we've seen various entities recognize employees. I think this is a really important part of this week is to thank those frontline employees, right? It's a job that goes under the radar, but we all understand that frontline cleaning staff are essential. And I think it's very important to take some time out to thank them. Education, right? This is both probably internally, right? Educate your own workforce, your clients, your customers, but also just the general public, right? This is a great opportunity to talk once again, kind of outside, what we were dealing with COVID, which people were just so hyped up about kind of why they needed to clean. I think now is a good time to say, hey, it's still important, right? There's RSV, there's flu. It's just good hygiene to make sure that things are cleaned correctly, disinfected correctly, washing your hands. So I think public education is a big portion about this. And then lastly, if there's any opportunities for you to, philanthropy wise, maybe it's doing, cleaning homes for free in your area, or providing free products to homeless shelters, whatever you can think of, right? Or even obviously helping out ISSA charities. There's a lot of different ways, but I think giving back is another way to help celebrate this week. So with that, let's get into some of the marketing. I'm going to get into some of it. Stacy, if you could put in the link to the International Cleaning Week website. Right at the top, there'll be download the toolkit. We've updated it for this year. It's got all the new logos for 2024. It's got some updated language. Feel free to leverage, like I said, any of the various logos that we have. Attach it to your own logo. We're okay with that, right? We just want it to be shared as much as possible. Obviously, I think the biggest portion is sharing this on social media leading up to it, build some momentum towards this week. And then if you're doing stuff online, whether, giving award to a worker or, running sort of ad, tag ISSA in it, or at least use the hashtag ICW in your post so that we can promote that across our social channels. I know last year there was a ton, I mean, way more than any other year. It was just like every 5 seconds, I felt like we were getting alerts of people tagging us, showing what they were doing in a lot of cool and creative ways. So I think that's the biggest play, right? It doesn't cost anything. It's a great way to engage customers, the public, your local news, your local policymakers. It's just a good entree to talk about what we all try to do, which is keep healthy and buildings healthy and safe. So like I said, those are our hashtags. We'll be sending this around, but please be sure to tag us. It just helps us promote what you guys are doing so much better. So here's a couple kind of previews. Like I said, I know it's in the chat, the link, and you'll see the partner toolkit. If you have problems with that, you can email myself or Stacy or someone else, which will provide that information. We'll make sure you get it. So kind of the first page is just about kind of what you can do. We provide various logos with different colors, different ways that it is. We also supply some sample newsletter copy. So a lot of different stuff here. I'll go to the next page, which is it. We even wrote up some various social media templates, right? You don't have to use these word for word. Just trying to give you some context to use, right? Here's things that you could tweet about, or I guess it's X, it's not Twitter anymore, but you can put on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you want to put it. I think that's just really informative. So it's very, we try to make it as simple as possible. But once again, it's all about being creative, leverage information, even if you're just taking maybe the facts from our value of clean document or somewhere else. Feel free to do that. That's what it's really about is building the sort of kind of social commentary around the importance of International Cleaning Week. I think this is probably if there's one takeaway, and I know this can be very challenging, right? We're all very busy, but be creative. This is just a couple. I have about 3 slides on this of various companies, facilities, other entities that have really taken it upon themselves to work. This top one in the right top corner, they gave kind of these sort of certificates to employees at their work. The bottom left, that was a news piece, right? So this company went out and actually did kind of a piece on local news. It's a really good way. If you've never tried to get kind of free local media, use this as a hook saying, hey, they're always looking for that local angle to kind of national and international news. So if you need any help, feel free to reach out. We can help you, tweak or craft a press release, anything that you need. But it's a really good, unique opportunity, right? They're willing to usually run with those sort of things, especially if you say, hey, we're a local company. Here's what we're doing. Give them like 5 tips on how to keep your home healthy and safe, or 5 reasons why you should do X, Y, Z. Those are all really great things. We have a little symbol or social media post from a Jan Pro. I thought this was a really good use of the International Cleaning Week logo, right? They used their own and then they kind of just added that sort of logo. The top left, they did like a whole week, this company. Like every day they did something different. So they did a series of webinars. One was on safety, one was, how do you do continuous improvement. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can really do. Here's a couple other ones that I saw. Just once again, just personalizing, using your logo to try to promote your industry, your products. The bottom left one, which was kind of funny, they have a whole website, but it's Dang Good Window Cleaning, I believe is the company. They're out of Canada. So once again, it's international this week or this year. Feel free to leverage that. A lot of cool stuff. But I think getting out, building momentum, not just being about that week, but leading into that week, right? Running, whether you're a residential cleaner, running those sort of promotions leading into it, saying, hey, like take advantage of this, $10 off your cleaning or whatever it may be. I think there's just a lot of opportunity here. Another one that I saw that did a really great job is Jana Clean from out of Puerto Rico. So this is all in Spanish. I can't tell you what exactly this says, but they did kind of a multi-week sort of issue. They did you can't really see it, but the logo in the back is talking about a National Cleaning Week symposium. So they actually did a presentations. They brought in OSHA, they brought in some local organizations to really kind of just do like the importance of cleaning, different sort of tips and tricks, right? And they also gave awards, which I thought was really cool. So like I said, it doesn't have to be beholden to kind of one language. Obviously, feel free to convert anything that we have into your local language, whether you're in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Central or South America. Feel free to leverage it, but there's a lot of cool stuff out there, right? Um, One other thing I wanted to mention is our Clean Advocacy Summit. So this event is traditionally actually during National Cleaning Week or International Cleaning Week this year. But this year, as I mentioned, it falls a little bit early, so it's actually Easter week. So Congress is out of session this week, so we actually pushed ours back, which I'm hoping that'll actually work out in our favor. So that event will be April 10th and 11th. This is a great opportunity. If you're dealing with labor issues or regulatory issues, or just want to kind of hear what's going on in DC or on Capitol Hill or with the EPA, this is a great event for you. Maybe you just want to hear kind of what's going on with the 2024 election. We expect 100 to 150 industry leaders, all across the supply chain. So we have small companies, we got large companies. It's a great event. You get to meet with your congressional offices and talk about the importance of cleaning, the importance of the industry, the different challenges, whether it's finding labor, as I mentioned, maybe it's dealing with getting your product registered with EPA. These are all the types of issues that we talk about and take it right to Capitol Hill and talk to policymakers who are making huge changes, right? Making huge decisions. And I often say, if you don't show up, someone else is telling your story. So this is a great opportunity. It's also a great networking. I think about 75% of the people who attend are C-suite level or higher. That doesn't mean you have to be, the owner or C-suite person to attend. We love all people to come. I think it's always great to hear from frontline employees as well. So if you have an interest, please feel free, reach out. Would love to have you there. It's a really great event. The other thing that we definitely want help on is making it official. So this is something we started right at the get-go. In 2023, we actually secured proclamations from a record 19 states, one territory, 7 cities, and the U.S. House of Representatives. So we had 19 governors sign a proclamation declaring a cleaning week in that state. The benefit of that is kind of the government seal of approval, I guess, for lack of a better term. Usually the governor's office puts out some sort of press release on it. So once again, it's the association trying to generate interest in this. You'll see that's actually a picture with myself and the governor of Idaho, Brad Little. Below is actually the kind of the document that you get. That's from Governor Kay Ivey of Alabama. So we were really successful. Like I said, that was a record number. But one of the things is we need your help. So ISSA we cannot submit all these ourselves. These actually have to be submitted by someone in the state. I listed a handful of the states that we are missing. Honestly, there's a couple states that we haven't been able to get to. I saw a couple, like someone in the chat from Alaska and South Dakota. I think we've submitted those, but it doesn't hurt to submit them multiple times, especially in some states that maybe we haven't been as successful in getting one. So let us know, contact Stacy. She can walk you through it. It's all written. It's usually a very quick form. We'll even fulfill the form itself. We'll submit it for you if you have any questions, but we need someone local to be able to submit those. So I always say, International Cleaning Week is literally being celebrated from the halls of Congress to your city hall. So this is really cool. It's free publicity, free news, but we can't do it without your help. And luckily, one of the reasons that we moved up this webinar a little bit earlier is in the past, it's been closer to International Cleaning Week, and we've actually missed out on some deadlines because these do have to be submitted well in advance, usually at least 6 weeks out, which I think is mid-February. So if you are interested, like I said, just reach out. We're happy to help you submit those. Or if you know people in any of these states, that would be super helpful, so that we can at least submit to all 50 states, even if we don't get them all. So that would be super helpful and really cool. We're also hoping to set up a couple meetings. We have a handful of governors. I know Ohio's governor, Texas, Georgia, Illinois, and a couple other ones have basically proclaimed Cleaning Week every single year. So we've actually asked some of them to do a live in-person event with ISSA or that local entity to see if they can't do a signing in person, similar to one that I have a picture with the governor. So more to follow. If something happens in your state, be on the lookout. We'll definitely announce that and invite any of our local members to attend those. As I mentioned, I think this is probably, if you do one thing, recognize essential employees, recognize your staff, come up with creative ways. The top right, Notre Dame, I'm a football fan, SEC, but Notre Dame has done a great job with doing what they've done. This was a sign that they had students and faculty signed for Ruby, their custodian. They put up signs on their buildings thanking their cleaners. They do a really great job. The bottom right is actually Fulton County School District. So once again, it's not just the cleaning companies, but the facilities that are thinking. So I think there's a lot of encouragement to go around. I just think this is something very simple to do. I know ISSA had a sign out in their offices where people would sign and thanking our cleaners as well. So it's a simple thing, doesn't cost much or anything. It's just, if we're going to thank them at least once a year, I think that's the bare minimum. So highly encourage you to do that. If you do thank anyone, once again, tag us, send us information about it so we can kind of collect those sort of stories and talk about them in our magazines, in various on podcasts, different entities, because we really love hearing those sort of stories. Obviously, ISSA wants to also kind of give back and offer some sort of special discounts and offers during this week. So we had at least 3 offers. One is, you could get consulting and possibly get a free IAQ meter. So that's through CMI. So that'll be, if you go to our website, all these links to these special discounts and offers will be on there. Also, if you're interested in becoming a premium level member, or when you join as a new member, you can use promo code ICW 2024. There's a whole host of different benefits at the premium level rather than the basic level that I highly encourage you to look into, see what you can benefit there. And then GBAC is also running 50% off select GBAC courses. So if you're looking, trying to train some staff or doing some stuff, this is a great opportunity, right? 50% off during the month of March using the promo code GBAC50. Great way to once again, train your staff, get them up to speed. So we're trying to also kind of provide some sort of discounts during this month or this week as well. One of the other things I think I mentioned quite a bit about was the idea that we need to, this is a public education week, right? It's about educating your own staff about how to talk about, cleanliness, cleaning, disinfecting, proper protocols, the importance of it, right? If we're in the industry, usually we understand it. But, sometimes your customers don't get the full picture. Maybe it's, potential customers. Maybe it's the public at large. So I put on here ISSA's Value of Clean, which was recently updated. Also has some great international stats. I know we got some stats from Africa and Chile, Australia, that really talks about the true dollar value behind maintaining healthy and clean workplace standards within your facilities. Like that return on investments in dollar and cents, in reduced absenteeism, all these sort of things. So if you're a member already, you may be familiar with it. You may be familiar with an older version of this. As I mentioned, it was recently updated, so you can come back to this, look at it. There's some really good stats on here. Energy efficiency, just return on investment. These are great nuggets to place in your own social media, in your own stuff, saying, hey, did you know, XYZ will reduce absenteeism, which could cause, X dollar of return on investment for going with us, right? So I think there's a lot to be done there. Like I said, any opportunity to engage the public, I think we owe it to ourselves in the industry to really raise kind of all ships, if you will, to try to promote the industry, the importance of it, and just having average conversations. It's not always trying to make a sale right there on your product or even getting a customer, but obviously that's a byproduct, right? If more schools, more facilities, more homes are doing the right thing, engaging with proper companies that do cleaning, buying the right proper products. That all helps us, right? It raises the standards. It makes it more the norm rather than the excuse. So just some data for you guys to kind of dig on. Like I said, we'll include this in any of the information that we're doing. I would also say it's always good to use kind of eye-popping graphics. So I'm sure you could snip stuff from here or reuse, create your own sort of graphics detailing them. I think that's always a good way to do it. Philanthropy, as I mentioned, ISSA obviously has our three big charities: Cleaning for a Reason, which goes into the homes of cancer patients and cleans their houses for free. ISSA Hygiene Network, which obviously promotes women in the industry, and ISSA Scholars, which is our scholarship program. These are three great entities, but we'd love for you to support them, especially if you don't have kind of a local charity. But there's a lot of different ways. This picture I have on here is actually a number of state lawmakers who filled bags to give to a local women's shelter. This was actually in Florida, so we actually had companies that donated products, including menstrual care products, hand sanitizer, soap, shampoo, and so we had all these women pack these bags, and we gave to a local women's shelter. So there's a lot of different ways to give back to your local community, and I think it's just a really good way of once again, it's just kind of passing it forward, showing that we as an industry care about our localities. And there's a lot of different ways, right? Take a day and go volunteer someplace, donate your product, whatever it may be. So a lot of cool different things you can do there. Couple other ways to engage, and I'm going to actually show you one of these right after this. Send us a video about why you're celebrating International Cleaning Week. We can put it in our YouTube channel, on our page. We have a couple up there right now. I'll show you one actually in the next slide from Torque, which did one of these. 30, 60 seconds, just why you're celebrating International Cleaning Week. These are great to share online, get some more kind of context go out. We love sharing videos about stuff. Once again, let us know if you plan to recognize any of your frontline workers in any sort of way. We love to promote that. Like I said, just reach out to us, say, hey, we're doing this great thing for so and so who's been one of our cleaners for 30 years, and they just really deserve to be recognized, right? We love those stories. Happy to bring them on, whether a podcast or feature them. Sign up to be an advocate for clean. So if you are interested, as I mentioned, I run our advocacy program, so kind of a shameless plug. But if you want to know what's going on, whether it's at the state level or at the federal level in terms of issues relating to the cleaning industry, whether it's labor issues, like there was a new rule on independent contractors, or a new regulation on how you get your product registered, or taxes, or immigration. Reach out to us, sign up to become an advocate for clean. We will let you know every couple weeks about what's going on. And then always check out what our events page. We have a ton of events and training events going on. We're hoping to add a few events during International Cleaning Week to that. So if you're interested what's going on to celebrate, or if you have your own events that you're hosting, let us know, right? We're always happy to promote those as well. So with that, I was going to show you once again kind of a quick example of one of the videos that was submitted to us. But if you, like I said, this is kind of a good example of one. It doesn't have to be this clean. Just give us regular video. We can edit it. Happy to throw it up. But this is a good example of one of those videos.
So from my perspective, it's extremely important to support it because it raises awareness. It's like we can say, well, it should be celebrated every day. But the reality is people are busy. There's many things going on. But maybe having a week to reflect, to highlight the important work all these individuals do. I think I mentioned it before, from the custodian that is taking care of our kids' schools, bathrooms, from the facility manager that is securing all of it is happening and being coordinated perfectly, from the operators making the product, the marketeers and the engineering, bringing new innovations to market, and making sure we keep up with whatever challenges are coming. And it also gives us kind of encouragement to be committed to this industry that does power our way of life.
So yeah, that's one video. I think we have one or two others on our website right now. We're always looking for that sort of stuff to share. Thanks to Torque for recording that. But like I said, if you just have some raw video, we're happy to kind of tweak it, edit it, help promote that as well. So I just think that's really cool to hear from those in the industry, leaders in the industry, about why they're supporting International Cleaning Week 2024. So with that, we do have a question poll for everyone, and then we'll get into. I saw there's a lot of movement in the chat, so I couldn't read it while I was giving my presentation, but I'm sure Stacy will come up and talk about it. But so we want to know, after kind of hearing all this, how will you be celebrating International Cleaning Week? It's going to take me a while to get that. You can click as many as you are interested or plan on doing, and kind of go from there. So obviously, if you have other ideas, put those in the chat. We'd love to hear any sort of new creative ways that you guys might be getting engaged as well. Like I said, we're not trying to be the end all be all. There's so much creativity out there in terms of what's going on, how people are dealing with stuff. So we come up with new ideas every year after we see, oh wow, did you see what X did to celebrate this year? And we just try to promote that, try to help others just come up with new ways to celebrate. So with that, I think I'm going to close it, and we'll see. There's still a little bit of action, but I'm going to end it and then share results. Hopefully that worked. So yeah, formally thanking staff. Great. I mean, like I said, I would say that's number one. If you can do that, I think that's great. Promotions, 30%, recognizing International Cleaning Week on social. Obviously, that's an easy thing. Requesting a proclamation, would love your help, especially if you're in one of those 13 states we don't have. But even if you're not, let us know. We'd love to do that. Attending the Clean Advocacy Summit. We have 8 out of 50, so that's 16% of you said you would. So I hope to see you there. Let us know. Reach out if you have any questions. It's a great event. And then other. So hopefully people are sharing some stuff in the chat as well. But yeah, that's really cool to see. Like I said, there's a lot of other options in terms of ways to celebrate the industry, but. And then I will close that out. And then I guess we can see if there's any questions. We'll bring Stacy back on and see if we got any good conversation going on.
Thanks, John. We do have quite a few questions. We received a question from Amanda about the International Cleaning Week logos. Who should use the regular logo and who should use the partner logo?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the partner is really for those groups I mentioned, like trade associations that are kind of partnering with us. Although I would just recommend use the regular logo. It's got the date. That's really the one that we suggest our members to use. We kind of all put it into one because we had some requests from some, I would say, non-company. So like I said, the interior designers, they would use the partner logo. It's okay if you use it. I mean, we don't. But I think we would suggest you just use the regular International Cleaning Week logo. That's the one that's got the date. It's a little bit more useful for those, but you can use whichever one you want.
Great, thank you. And there are a ton of ideas that people are sharing in the chat that they've done or they plan to do, videos, certificates, taking staff out for lunch, blogs. So definitely check out the chat. But we do have a question about what other companies are doing to celebrate their cleaners or custodians during this week as a way of appreciation.
Yeah, I've seen quite a bit. So I think obviously one is like giving like a certificate or especially I've seen facilities do this really well where they have like the employees or like the students. I just showed the one from Notre Dame where they have some sort of sign that people come by and thank them. I think that's really good. Yeah, as Trisha put in there, they really love money and gift cards. That's always, I mean, if you're in a financial position where you can do that, I mean, obviously, right? Get them flowers, get them gift cards, whatever you think they might appreciate. I think it just goes a long way, right? It's tough work. It's a grueling job sometimes. It's under the radar. Gift cards, obviously that's a really great way of doing it. Give them a day off if you're able to. I mean, there's a lot of different ways, but we've seen everything. I mean, we've seen putting on your website, like featuring different cleaners and their story. Yeah, just there's a lot of different ways. I would also encourage any of your staff, especially if you're a cleaning service provider, if you're like not the actual cleaning frontline professional, just go around and thank people or encourage, reach out to those facilities that you do clean and say, hey, by the way, this is International Cleaning Week. If you could do anything to like have alert your customers or your staff or your students to thank the cleaner that day. I mean, that goes a long way too. And it's one thing if you as the employer says thank you, but it's always great if you hear from like folks that you don't like, hey, I heard it's National or International Cleaning Week. Would love to thank you for your help. So yeah, big visuals. Attached to janitor closet. These are great. Yeah, balloons. I don't those like big balloons setups that I've seen for like birthdays. Like, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could do it, but anything you can think of would be helpful. But yeah.
Great. Thanks, Donna. And there's been a few questions about the state proclamations. And this year we're expanding to International Cleaning Week. So getting countries to proclaim an official week would be great. And we will be posting those states that proclaim a cleaning week on our website, on our International Cleaning Week website, issa.com/ICW. And we've reached out to all the states with the exception of 13, Colorado, Delaware, Hawaii, Louisiana, Maine, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Rhode Island, Utah, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. So we still need to reach those states. So if you have any contacts in those states, please feel free to email me.
There was one other question on that, actually. I just saw, what's the difference between International Cleaning Week and National Cleaning Week? There is no difference. You may have missed the top of it at the so we started as National Cleaning Week. Obviously, it was more of a US focused thing that we were starting. That was just kind of what was already out there, so we kind of ran with it. This is the first year we've actually dubbed it International Cleaning Week, and that was basically just because we heard from our international friends and partners saying, why isn't this international? So there really isn't any. Honestly, if you call it National Cleaning Week versus Internet, no one's gonna worry too much about it. In these state proclamations, they just call it Cleaning Week. So, I mean, any sort of version of it, we're just kind of trying to make everyone understand that this is an international phenomenon. I see someone from Hong Kong and China. I mean, any time that you can submit, pretty much every government, I would say most governments, not every government, but a lot of the international governments probably do something similar. I know one of the things that we're going to be working towards, but it's a multi-year process, is trying to get the United Nations to recognize International Cleaning Week. We're a little too early. It actually could take multiple years, and you have to get, there's a lot of hoops, but we're working towards that. So that's one of the entities that we're working through. But obviously, if you're in like Canada or Australia, if you just go to that, your prime minister's website or the government's website, they probably have something that says like proclamations or announcements, and you can usually find it. If you're wondering about it, you can email Stacy or myself. We'll look into it, see if we can find a good contact. It takes 60 seconds to submit these, so it's really easy to do it. So hopefully we can find it. We may not be able to for everyone's country, but we're gonna do our best.
And John, we have a few questions regarding the value of clean infographic that you shared, if that was the most current version and how to access it. I believe you need to be an ISSA member to do so, but can you confirm?
I believe so too. That is on our website. I want to say it's under member benefits. So you can look that. We'll make sure to include that if we can remember into our follow-up email to everyone. You may need to have to be an ISSA member to access the full detailed, like the infographic to share. I'm not 100% on that. But I saw someone mention 2021. That is the most updated. So we updated after COVID. That was like the first time we updated in like 5 to 6 years. So when I say it's been recently updated, maybe not quite super recently, but it's pretty up to date. I would say it's at least kind of on the going out of COVID rather than like in the midst or before, which I feel like that data is just so outdated. So yeah, 2021, if that's what the date says, I believe that was even late 2021. So I mean, it's within the last couple years.
Okay, great. Then we received a question about making a donation to ISSA's Cleaning for a Reason in honor of International Cleaning Week, which would be fabulous, in honor of their hardworking staff. And what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, from your lips to Sandy Wolfram's ears. Yeah, so you can just go to the Cleaning for a Reason website. I'm sure we can drop that in the chat. I believe there's a box because I just gave to Hygeia, I think earlier this year, and I think there's a box where you can actually say who it's from or in honor. So I think that's a box in the form. So yeah, so Stacy just put that into the chat. You can just go right to there and explain, you know, your reason or on behalf of the cleaning staff. So yeah, we'd love that. I mean, obviously that's great. It gives right back to the community. Once again, that's really cool of you to do.
Okay, well, it looks like we've answered all of the questions. So I want to thank you, John, for an interesting and informative presentation. And thanks to all of our attendees for listening and participating. And as a reminder, registrants for today's webinar will receive a recording of and the slides from the webinar in the next several days in an email. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Bye for now.